Yeah, all right. So yeah, I hope everyone is having a good, a good day and then a good time. Yeah. So yeah, this is what I was able to come up with for like our contributions, projects. Yes. So this is how I feel like everybody is going to be able to contribute to like uh, open source projects and stuff. Yes. So I'm going to take us through how everything is structured over here in a minute, and then I'm going to also teach you how you can contribute to this project. So I think I'm going to make some resource or video or something about contributing itself. But like I'm going to take us through the repo so that once we have that down, we are going to see how we can come here and then we'll be able to contribute. Understand? Yes. So now this is the file structure that I came up with. You understand? So this is our parent folder. Once you fork and then you get it onto your machine. This is how it's going to be. So this is going to be our parent folder. Then these are going to be what our sub folders. So now I don't know if I should go through the files or with the readme. Okay, let's use the readme. So yeah, with the readme we have text here, blah blah, and then a welcome message. Yes, yeah, yes. So over here you can see we say what's inside now. This is what is inside our repo. This is the package. So we have explainers and non-code. You understand? Yes, I know that like some of us are now beginning, and even if we are not, some of us don't really like to think how it goes. Some of us are thinking to become project managers, and what have you, and in different fields of the tech itself. You understand? Yes, but I think at a point you have gone through all of these stuff, these variables, and then our conditionals, and then our data structures, and then also our algorithms. Like these are, I think, the basis of programming that also cut across through like basically all of the languages. So now, if you want to contribute without writing code, you ideally you come over here, and then you're going to explain some sort of concept. So maybe you want to go into the basics, and I think variables, data types, operators. Yes. So even if I left something out, you can just you know add it and then explain it if you want to explain. So let's say you want to explain what a variable is. Okay, so what's a variable? So you can say, yes, now what I'm really looking for with this explain stuff is not just the plain stuff we have, online. Like get creative with it in a way that way if someone reads it, they really get, some deeper understanding. So example, you can say, okay, so if we take our variables, let's take our terminal. Now let's imagine that our terminal is, some store yard or something as that. And then there are spaces for the store. You understand? Yeah. So let's see somewhere like counter, counter mantle. Yeah. Okay. So now every store and then what is holding. You understand? It cannot be, permanent. It can change depending on what you want to keep in the store. You understand? So okay, this year they were selling. Counter is just clothes, but let's say it's not. So okay, this year they were selling paints over here. You understand? We decided to store paints over there. You understand? Yes, but in the next year we decided to change it, and now we are selling what clothes. You understand? We are selling fashion clothes. You understand? Yeah. I know this explanation is not really well put together, but you get where I'm going with this. Like, let's try to be creative with our explanations, and that's that. And now I also went ahead to do some research on them. Drafted this project, a ton of projects, fast ton of projects, but I kept them in tiers. Uh, yeah, so tier one is, baby steps. So like according to your level, you can just come in here, and you don't have to start from here and then come down like. And it doesn't mean have to be in the list. Once you figure that this is in this tier, then you you know just add it in and then you do it. And then when you make the merge request, uh yes. And then when I see your request, and I think it's good enough, I'm going to merge into, you know, the repository here. So that's it. So we have, let's go to some of the code. We have a great snap BMI calculator, family line, all that stuff. Wow, step calculator. Not really any mind brackets. Rock paper scissors. And that's two rock paper scissors prime. Okay, prime number is over here. You know, number guessing game, anagrams, palindromes, blah blah. I think Fibonacci is also in here. Yes, and what have you. And then now by tier three, we want to start thinking about useful things. Things that are useful, not really the next big thing, but useful in some sort of way. So we have some to-do list. We can organize ourselves with that. Random quote generator. Yes, you can rig it so that it gives you a quote every morning on your desktop or something like get creative with it, a dictionary app, blah blah blah, unit converter, account mountain. Yeah, and then we have our capstone projects. Um, yeah. Now we can go on and calculator for capstone. Yeah, all right. Yes, we have our calculator. We have quiz app for capstone. Yeah, basic banking system. Wow, come on. Yeah, okay, so you can build these two. I don't know. I don't know why they labeled this stuff as capstone, but yeah, the idea is like let's try to build as many projects as you can out of this. Um, yeah, we have more over here, chat rooms, face detection, some web app. This one is going to be for the web, and then you can build, some tool that teaches people how to type. That's not exactly what they've written over here, but I think you get me. You can build maybe it's become clone. Yeah, it's going to be a ton of fun. Or even just the typing game section of her application, that application. You can recreate some of the games in that typing section and blah blah. Now you have tier 6, it says advanced playground. We have AI chatbots, uh, facial recognition attendants. A lot of these over here could pass as even thesis projects or something. You can make your Spotify clones and chat GPT clone. Now with clones, one advice I'm going to give is once you manage to, let's say you pull it off, don't call it chat GPT clone. Sure, maybe you can call it that when you're marketing, but I mean come on. And then don't copy like maybe the UI or like at the beginning fine. But I mean come on. Yeah, you can personalize it. Come back here. Yeah. And then yeah, now this bonus tier like this, these things are really going to rack your mind. You can make some Sudoku, tic tac toe, AI. You understand? You are going to be playing with. Yeah, the player is going to be playing against, let's say, the computer. Understand? Yeah. So you can set some conditions that if the player is one step from winning, block him at all costs. And then also a good thing is like with tic tac toe. Yeah, there are situations where no one is ever going to win. So like you have to handle your AI in that way too. And yes, you have your battle, battleship. Yeah, battleship over here. I think I've already. You know, Tower of Hammer. I'm going to have to research this Tower of Hammer. I don't know. Yeah, so that's basically much. It's a lot of interesting projects over here that you can contribute to. Yes, or even start. And then one thing I would like to say is you don't have to do the whole thing yourself too. The community can work together. You understand? Yes. So let's say you are planning Spotify, and then you have the UI down, not even like the whole UI. Let's say just the navigation or something. You can come on here and then say, oh, okay, who is good with you know sessions or this whole signing login. Then who's good with the Google APIs for signing with Google. I mean, they can also implement that for you. Say, oh, okay, who is good in this? I don't know if you get me. Then we can all put our heads together. You know, that's going to stimulate how teams work together. Yeah. And then you have good talking points during your interviews so that you have a lot to talk about, and these recruiters get to know. Yeah, so this is basically how to contribute. So you fork, you clone, then you navigate, then you do what you want to do. Then you submit a pull request, and then hopefully I merge you. That's how it's going to be. Yes, now if all of these those things are you, I think I'm going to take us through all of this. I'm going to visualize it too. You understand? And then hopefully all of this is going to be a no-brainer to you. You understand? Now here's why this is like a lot of people are, to be overthinking this whole, coding thing. Like I know, I know people, corporates act like, oh, they even suggested to me that I learn the Git, and then I basically came to learn. I don't know, I don't know. Like yes, everything doesn't have to be a real big, hurdle for you. You can start small, and then like the most important thing I keep saying is like just start, just start, just start. Whatever you're doing, just start. You understand? Yeah. And then one story I like to share. Okay, so when I was learning, the whole web dev now, I did HTML, I did CSS, and I did JavaScript. Yeah. So one time, I was doing, was it a form? Yeah. And then like I'm trying to align this, the input fields, and then like the text lengths are different and stuff. I was trying to align it, and then I went to one of my bosses, and then I was like, oh, I want to align this, and he's like, okay, so are you going to use Bootstrap? Like, are you using any framework? And I was like, no, understand? Yeah. Now at the time, it actually took me 1 more month to actually end up learning the frameworks. Like now at the time, like yes, the whole thing seemed like a ladder in my head. It seemed like a ladder in my head. That oh, okay, I have to do this, so I have to learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Now, surely these frameworks he's talking about are going to be difficult, but honestly, they really weren't. You know, and it ended up helping me in my workflow. You understand? Yes. So sometimes learning something new is it's not really the headache that we are cracking it up to be. So we should be open to learning a lot of new things. Yes. And then now, any questions or ideas you have, you can also add them. I'm open, and I mean, really, we are open. This is our community. We are open to, listen and help each other out with whatever that may be on your mind. You understand? Yeah. So that's basically matters. And then I'm eager to see, your contributions and then what everyone has for me.